This is the plaintiff, Kamisha Kelly. She says the defendant, her former boyfriend, took her very expensive computer and video camera and threw them out. That's right. Just put her stuff right into the garbage. Gone forever. Just because the defendant's angry she broke up with him gives him no right to toss her stuff. She's suing for $1,556.16, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, James Sterling. He says the plaintiff up and moved out on him one day. He came home from work and all her stuff was gone, just like that. The things she left behind, she abandoned. She didn't want them, and he had every right to throw them out. He's accused of tossing a relationship.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her ex threw her computer and her video camera out the window out of revenge. But the defendant says the plaintiff just moved out with no explanation and she abandoned the stuff. It's the case of Trash.com.
Okay, Ms. Kelly, you are suing Mr. Sterling for $1,556.16 in several of your items that you say you left at his place when you two broke up, and he has destroyed because you two broke up. Tell me what's going on.
I met Sterling on a dating site, Mate1.com.
Which one?
Mate1.com.
Meet One?
Mate, M-A-T-E.
Mate One.
Yes.
Got it. All right, we'll get through this. All right, Mate1.com.
Yes.
Okay.
I called him.
Does it have some kind of specialty that, you know, I've never heard of that one.
Actually, I work a lot, so I don't get time to socialize.
No, I've heard of dating sites, girl. I think the whole thing's very efficient. I mean, I've been married for 20 years, but if I wasn't, that's how I would. It's like internet shopping. It's fine. But I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
It's just anybody? Anybody can be on it?
You have to meet certain criteria to be on it.
You do?
Yes.
What's the criteria? Alive?
Yes.
All right, so you meet him on what day? Valentine's Day?
Yes, we did. We met on Valentine's Day. It was real sweet. We talked. We met the Friday. We went out. We discussed what we want out of life. He was real straightforward and honest, and I love that about him. So it was like a flick at first sight. Then he was telling me about his plans, his dreams, and his aspiration. I really like that because he was like so honest doing that. And I supported him right off the back. So
and at some point, what?
I supported him right off.
You supported him right off the bat. What does that mean? You like him?
Yes, I like him.
Or did you mean actually financially supported him?
No, not
okay, I don't know what you're saying. Okay, that's all right. So you liked him, and then what?
Yeah, we talked, and he's saying...
Get to the part where you move in a few weeks after you met him.
Yes, I moved in.
Okay, all right. So you move in a few weeks after you met him.
Yes.
A few weeks after you met him on an internet dating site, you moved in.
Yes, I did.
Not you date, and you date a few years, and it's really working well, so you want to take it to the next level. No, it's you move in to what? To your place?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we got that going. All right. So because half the time when that happens, I have people moving their children in too. You know, to somebody who could be a pedophile. Not to suggest that about you, but you know. All right. So at least it's only you who you were putting at risk. All right. So you move in. How many weeks had you known him when you moved in?
I think about 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Oh, you know all about a man by then.
Yeah.
Right? In 3 weeks, you're going to know everything there is to know. Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
It was actually good for the first month. Everything was all right. We understand each other. We talk about what.
And then after a month, it wasn't so good.
Right, because
so it didn't work out too well for you not to wait and get to know somebody before you moved in with them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you done that before?
No, it was actually my first time.
Okay.
I realized I was getting old and I really needed to have a relationship.
And that's fine. And I understand that, all right? And I understand the loneliness. But if you want, sometimes you got to think long term. And if what you want is a relationship long term, then you want to get to know someone before you turn around and uproot your life, because it usually doesn't work when it's like this. You know, you have to invest a little time in a relationship that's long lasting. And if you can't wait 3 weeks before you move in with somebody, you don't know each other. You're going to fight nonstop. And it's going to turn out that you two maybe aren't compatible to live with each other, which is in fact what you found out. Because when you moved in, you two start fighting. And what are you fighting about?
My job, my hours, the amount of
What do you do?
Actually, I'm a sales rep and I'm a nursing assistant.
And you were working how many hours a day?
Depending on how I feel, I work like 14.
And how long was he working a day?
Oh, he's not working. He don't work.
Okay. All right. So you were lonely.
Yes, ma'am.
You were still lonely.
Yes, ma'am.
You moved the woman in.
Yes, ma'am.
You think your loneliness is over, and then you're still lonely.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right. Of course, if you knew her a little bit beforehand, you'd say, well, maybe this isn't the woman for me because we're not compatible in that respect. And why aren't you working?
I'm retired. I'm military. I'm a veteran, PTSD.
Okay. You were going through some psychological issues?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You've handed me a report by a psychiatrist.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And according to the report, you're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And dissociative disorder?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How long has it... Where did you serve? I'm sorry.
I was on the USS Saratoga, 1986, when we bombed Libya, and we had we got the hostages off of the, the kidnappers that kidnapped the Achilles Laurel, the big, and they pushed the man off the. That was our F-14s that made that 747 land. President
And what
Reagan.
was your role?
I'm a fireman. I helped the jets take off.
Right. Okay. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I'm sorry that you're going through difficulty. All the more reason why you might want to know somebody before they move in.
Yes, ma'am.
And at some point you break up. Whose idea was it? I take it was yours?
Yes, it was.
And then when you leave, why do you leave stuff behind?
Actually, I found the apartment and I came back the next day to get my stuff and he didn't want to let me in the apartment. He changed the lock because he knew I was going to leave because I told him.
But you had taken some stuff. You hadn't taken anything?
Not really. Only what I need for the day. I didn't take anything.
So you needed your stuff, so what?
I went over there in a cab. I went upstairs and knocked on his door. He didn't want to let me in and I said, okay then, put them outside. Pack up as much stuff as you can and put them outside.
You're just shouting through the door?
Yes.
Like, how are you communicating with him?
Yeah.
On phone or?
No, I was talking through the door because he closed the door. He didn't want to let me in.
All right. And what does he say? Yes, I'll pack it and put it out?
Yes. And he opened the door and he has the video camera on me and say I should just take up the stuff and leave. So I just took up everything and I said, there's a lot more stuff, I leave. And he said, just go, go, go. I said, okay.
Do you have that video?
No, ma'am. I didn't bring it because I don't think we was going to need it.
And so was there stuff that you wouldn't let her get?
No, that's not.
What do you say happened?
So they move in a couple of weeks after meeting on a dating site. Is that ridiculous?
You know what, the way communication is nowadays, I believe it is possible. 20 years ago, I saw my wife in the hallway of our high school, and I fell in love with her, and...
I'm really touched, but how soon later did you move in with her?
I would say after we found out she was pregnant.
Okay. Is it too? Oh no. Okay. Is it too long or ridiculous? A couple of weeks moving in.
Yeah, I think it's too soon to move in.
Let's get a different perspective. What do you think?
I think it's ridiculous because you can actually, well, it can happen because people can meet each other and fall in love in first sight.
Fair enough. When Harry met Sally, going inside the courtroom.
I went out. I go to see the psychiatrist once a week. And when I went to go see the psychiatrist, when I came back, she was gone. You can visibly tell that she took her stuff out of the closet, stuff out of the drawers.
So that was the first inkling you got that she was leaving?
I was abandoned. The first thing I felt was abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So I imploded. You know, it hurted because why would you leave like that? And so she wanted to call me back and talk it over. I don't want to talk about it. I didn't want to. When you left, you should have took everything. Right.
And then what happened? What happened to the rest of her stuff that she didn't take?
Oh, the garbage got it.
The garbage got it?
Yes, ma'am.
How did the garbage get it? Did it come in and put its hands inside of the stuff and make it suck it into the garbage?
No, ma'am.
You threw it out.
She came by, like she said, to get some stuff. And I quickly put some stuff together, and I videotaped because I didn't want her to say I opened the door and hit her or anything like that.
Right.
So
that was smart.
So whatever she got, and didn't you want to call back and say I missed stuff? I said, well,
when did she say there's stuff missing?
Probably a day or two later when
she said she said it on that video. She said right there, then and there. Wait, this isn't all my stuff. Probably?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what she says that you still had and refused to give her is a digital camera and a computer, 6 winter coats, 2 boots, 6 nursing uniforms, and some computer software. Let's talk about those. The digital camera and computer, did that stay behind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and why?
Ask her.
Okay, where is it now?
In my house.
Okay, so you do, and those things belong to her?
No.
Who did it belong to?
Well, we bought those while we were together, and she left it.
Okay, you bought them while you were together and she left them, but who paid for them? You're not working, she's working 14 hours. I think I know the answer.
Yes, ma'am, she paid for them.
Okay, so you agree that she paid for them, but you feel like since it was during your time together that you co-own it? Not so much. All right. But those 2 things are at your house. All right. And then the 6 winter coats. Did she really leave 6 winter coats behind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where did those go?
I threw them away.
And 2 boots?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you throw out her stuff, and why did you throw out her stuff?
Because I didn't want any more contact. I felt when she left, when I went to see my psych, I felt that when she left, she should have been smart enough to, she made this plan, she should have been smart enough to take all of these things.
But that doesn't mean that you have what she should have done is one thing, and I agree with you, she should have. It would have been the smart thing to do. But what you have a right to do is another thing. And you apparently think that if she left it behind, you have a right to toss it. And you don't. You don't have a right to toss it.
Your Honor, I just want to clarify one thing. I have PTSD, and I thought when she told me that there was more stuff left, it was being more depressing.
I know, sweetie, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to it.
I was trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude to you nor her.
Right.
I respect women.
Okay.
But I had to look out for my psyche too.
I know, but I would like to propose something to you. Maybe you can run this by the psychiatrist, but I think that part of your healing process is to be able to cope. And coping sometimes means you can't do what feels good at the moment. It means you have to have a little vision about where it's going to take you. And so if you don't want to see it anymore because it causes you pain, all of us also, even people who have not gone through the horrible stuff you've gone through, all right, will feel depression and anger and sadness when a mate leaves us. And here we think we're finally not going to be lonely. We have this person, we really like this person, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Okay, but you have to be able to cope in a way that's inside the parameters of what society is going to mandate. And society doesn't let you or anybody else throw out people's stuff. So you're still going to have to pay for it. Now, there was an incident that I see a police report here for. What happened then in June?
Yes.
It's a couple months after you guys broke up. What was this?
Because I needed my stuff. He had given me a promissory note because he wasn't talking to me and I needed the rest of my stuff. So his birthday was the 30th of August, so I went over there. And
30th of what?
30th of April.
April, okay.
April, and I went over there and I made dinner for him and I let him write a promissory note so that I can get my stuff from him.
Do you have that?
Yes.
May I see it?
Yeah.
What does that say? 1,500 or 1,300?
1,300.
For the what? Things. I threw out, and money you gave me, just stop hurting me. You will be paid in full by 6/15. Did that happen?
No, ma'am.
Did you sign this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If it was good enough for you then, it's good enough for me now. And if $1,300 is the value that both of you put on the items, then he didn't pay you anything on this, right?
No, he did not.
Okay. I'm going to assess a value of $1,300 so that we don't have to get you guys together to transfer cameras or computers or whatever else. I'm going to order him to pay you $1,300, verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck to both of you, okay? May there be happier times ahead, all right?
Thank you.
Well, here comes the defendant out of the courtroom losing this case. First, thank you for your service. I echo the judge's sentiments there, and I'm sure we all do. What's your feeling on the outcome of the case here?
I think the judge is right. You make a mistake, you have to pay for it. I didn't see it that way at the time.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think she ended the relationship so quickly?
I wanted to spend more time with her than she wanted to work. She valued work. I value family contact.
Mm-hmm. All right, good luck to you. Right down this way. All right, come on in here and tell me, you satisfied with how this comes out?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Justice is served, and I'm glad I won. I hope he has a nice life.
What'd you see in him at the time? You obviously felt strongly about him?
Yeah, he was honest. He was straightforward, which I love. You don't find that in a lot of men. So that's basically it.
You don't miss him?
Even if I do, that's the past. I have to move to the future.
Harvey?
Okay, I'm going to give you my 2 cents here. It is insane to move in with somebody after a couple of weeks, because on those couple of weeks, even couple of months, whatever, you are looking at somebody on their best behavior and not what they're really like. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.